Hello, everyone. So, a week from now, on Tuesday, I'll be starting my seventh entry point water fast. I call it entry point water fast because I try to make it in a way that it's not just about not eating and drinking water, but it's about using fasting as a tool to improve your life. And in the last video, I told you that you should join me next week and that I'll tell you the reasons why you should join me. So today, I will tell you, I will tell you the number one reason why everyone who's currently not sick, but everyone who's healthy should try water fasting for at least 7 days without exception. So the reason for that is that 7 days, everyone can do 7 days because the first 3 days, the body consumes food that is in your intestines. Then the fifth day, the body switches into ketosis. So in the end of the 7 days, that's actually when the real fasting starts because when you're in ketosis, the body is consuming its own fat. So the first 7 days, you're just getting ready for fasting. And why should everyone do it? Well, because reason number one, most of you, including me, I always used to live in the mindset that, if I skipped lunch, then I would, I have to eat every three hours, every 4 hours, and it's like a common thing in the society that if you skip, one meal in a day or two, then all of the sudden, it's a big thing. In fact, I even experienced one customer who was complaining about not receiving food from one delivery company. So the customer didn't receive food for a day, and the way he communicated was that they almost died because they didn't receive their food for that day. So experiencing the 7 days that you know that you will not die because there's so much food and energy in your body for the first 7 days that it's nothing. So experience that opens your eyes to the fact that, you know, what your relationship towards food and cravings and taste, what your experience with those senses is. So that's why you should try the 7 days. But that's still a small reason. But the big reason is that one of the most important qualities and skills that people should have, but the importance of the strength of the skill. So this skill is being able to resist your urges. Some call it will, some call it self-control, but you know exactly what I mean. How come I cannot convince myself not to watch TV where I know that it would be much better that instead of watching TV, I should go for a run or to learn a foreign language? But somehow, or even with the food, we all know what food is healthy and what food is not healthy, but somehow we cannot control ourselves. And this is not only in the area of food, but you know that a lot of you, and I used to be like that too, are short tempered. And something happens, and you can get so upset that you can even harm the other person because for some odd reason you got upset. In other words, there's a lot of people who are enslaved by their response to an external stimuli. So the first 7 days of the water fast, of the entry point water fast, you can actually experience consciously knowing that whatever urge to eat comes up, you know that you can just ignore it, that it's imaginary, because the first 7 days you really don't have to eat because you are full of energy. So why do these cravings appear? Well, they appear because your body is addicted to sugar, to carbohydrates. So it's craving the carbohydrates. But if you know it, then you can simply resist it and just laugh it off. And in fact, that's how you should react to all external stimuli that comes to your mind. So the first 7 days of water fast, everyone should do it because everyone should experience what it's like that they can not eat for 7 days because it puts their standard eating habits into a completely different perspective. But more importantly, the first 7 days should be used as an exercise to observe one's will, not to control it, but to observe it. Because just knowing, for example, about yourself, that you have a very weak will or very strong will, then that way you can position yourself in everyday reality, knowing, if you know that you're an alcoholic, then you will try to position yourself not to get close to alcohol or not to get yourself in situations where there is alcohol. But if you don't recognize that you're an alcoholic, you will always end up in these situations. And same thing with the first 7 days of water fasting. You can practice and see how long you can resist to be convinced by your taste buds that you should eat something. And this then you can take into your everyday life and experience and train how you can make if you can make a put a space between you and the feelings. And I even had friends who tried to do water fast. They would tell me, George, I will try to do 2 weeks. They would start and they would stop in 3 hours after they started. They stopped. So that is also a very important insight, because then you know that your will is very weak and then you are enslaved by feelings and taste and all the senses around you. And just knowing this, even if you don't change anything in your life, that's still a step forward. So that's why everyone should try 7 days. And in the next episode, I will tell you that once you do the 7 days, what's coming after the 7 days, and why, in fact, it's not about the first 7 days, but everyone should try the first 14 days. But that I will tell you in the next stream. See you soon.